With such a strong emphasis placed on Israel's political and security issues, it's easy to overlook Israel's very vibrant culture. But it's such an important part of what's happening today in Israel, especially as it weaves together the ancient and the modern. Shalom, my friends. It's the Kiva Verse with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Israeli culture is incredible. It's vibrant, it's diverse. So much is happening here, whether it's theater or literature, art or music. And it's music that I want to focus on in this video because what's happening in the Israeli music scene is quite incredible. And it's been happening for many, many years, but it keeps getting stronger. We're seeing it more and more. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the weaving together of the ancient and modern Jewish cultures through the lens of Israeli music. Now, we know that in ancient times and up until the modern state of Israel, Israeli music, or I should say Jewish music, took on very much of a religious tone. Prayers, liturgy, special prayers for certain times of the year, the different holidays, the different kinds of prayers. And music was intertwined, was interwoven into the prayers to make them even more inspiring and uplifting and special and spiritual for those who are engaging in them. But with the modern state of Israel, what has happened is that Jews have come from all over the world, literally the four corners of the earth, and they brought with them everything that they experienced there, everything that they built there, from their foods to their clothing to their special, unique Jewish traditions and their music, along with their musical instruments. So when Jews started coming back, for sure at the beginning of Zionism in the beginning of the 1800s, but more so with the actual creation of the state of Israel in 1948. And Jews were really coming back from the four corners, from northern Africa, from around the Middle East, from the Far East and beyond. Jews were bringing their music and their musical instruments. And what started to happen is that these musical styles started to blend, where at the beginning everyone was kind of on their own, doing their own thing, playing their own music. As the next generation was born, and the next generation was born, and communities had all this incredible Jewish cultural diversity. People were meeting each other in schools, in college, in the army, in the workplace. These styles started to blend together. And now what we see in Israel today is very much a blended music style of all of these different styles that Jews brought home with them, again, from the four corners of the earth. So it's one, the sounds, right? The musical instruments that are used in the songs, right? Definitely an East meets West kind of feel to a lot of Israeli music, but above and beyond that, it's what they're singing about. So many Israeli artists are using traditional lyrics, traditional Jewish prayers and songs, what we call piyutim, liturgy, for the words of their songs or inspiring their words based on these songs. And it's very typical to find a very mainstream, seemingly secular Israeli artist singing words that are based on ancient prayers, right? If not singing those words straight up as they were written down thousands of years ago. And it's a beautiful sign of how much Israelis, whether they're religious or secular, wherever they fall in the religious spectrum, are very connected to their tradition, very proud of their tradition. And Israeli artists weave that tradition, that ancient tradition, into their words, especially around the holidays. You know, we're coming up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and the prayers are very much focused already now on introspection and repentance and trying to do better and forgiveness and all those different things. And we see a lot of songs that Israeli artists have written over the years and play a lot this time of the year, have those themes in them very, very much. In addition to that, you're seeing more and more very popular Israeli artists who are religious, right? Male singers who wear a kippah, a head covering on their head, all the time, especially or including when they perform in front of huge crowds. And it really helps to break down that religious secular divide that so many people talk about here in Israel, but on the street, right? It's not as strong as they talk about in the news and in the media. And partly that's because of these religious musicians who are showing themselves, getting on the stage, performing, creating beautiful music and music that all kinds of Israelis, again, throughout the religious spectrum, could relate to, can connect to, and can love. So a lot is happening in the Israeli music culture, the Israeli music scene, and it's this beautiful blend of modern and ancient, ancient and modern, and a real representation of where the Jews have been over the past 2,000 years before they came home to the land and state of Israel. All the best, my friends, and be well.